can benefit from it. Today we are going to be looking at a story in John. It's a exciting story in my opinion. I like it, and I've heard a lot of different sermons on it, and so there's a lot of very valuable insight to the story in John chapter 4. And so, over the last couple of months, I've kind of lost track of what number we're on in terms of the series. We've gone through a lot of different places, but one of the things that has been so fascinating to me about this experience is just that as we're going through this with Desire of Ages is that it's really placed things in a different order from what I originally anticipated. Like, I'm shocked that, we've gone through weeks, months of this, and yet I still haven't actually had the lesson on the Beatitudes or the Sermon on the Mount. That kind of blows my mind. I thought that would be one of the first things I did, as it's mentioned as one of the main sermon of Jesus, and to some it's mentioned as his first sermon, but in this situation it's not. Like, it's not even close. By the time Ellen White mentions it, we're in this version of the Desire of Ages, it's in the 160s, page 160 plus, and so that to me is just like, whoa, like this is definitely not going quite in the direction that I expected. I've never thought that uh, the woman at the well, which is what we're going to go over tonight, would be this early on in the study. I just didn't. And we have definitely had some uh, lessons and some topics that we've discussed that have just not been in the order I expected. And one of the things that primarily threw this off was when we were talking about last week with John the Baptist, and how John the Baptist is thrown into prison versus not into prison, and how the making fishers of men turns out much later. And even in Desire of Ages, she talks about this in around pages 130 to 140, and here, where we're talking about the woman at the well, we're at page 90. So, I've thought that this is really interesting, of just how Ellen White puts it in order, and how I expect it to be in order. And, I mean, this is not the first time I've read through Desire of Ages. I read through it cover to cover when I was 18 to get my master guide, and so I've read it before. And for different sermons, I've read elements of it, but I've never gone back through it and tried to just place things in order or look at the relevance